doing this thing here. When it comes to Donald Trump, I think we just making it too easy for the guy. Remember, y'all, League Nation Radio, you can check me out on YouTube. You can check me out weekdays on the Blog Talk Radio Network, the League of Dads Talk Radio, blogtalkradio.com/the League of Dads Talk Radio. You know, I'm the guy that tells you if you got warrants out for your arrest for non-payment of child support, or if your license is suspended due to non-payment of child support, if you know somebody that have their license suspended due to non-payment of child support, get in touch with me, 862-240-8175, and I can get you guys, show you how to do that. Now, I always tell individuals you can go ask an attorney, but they'll charge you a couple of thousands. Over here at the League, we can show you how to do it for $685. There's also individuals that got their license suspended due to they got a lien on their license. They got a lien on their license. When you get a lien on your license, most of the time that happens when you got sued and somebody put a judgment on your license. Happens behind tickets as well. All right, I'm a quick coach. All right, so let's get it. So today is Friday. It is February the 3rd, 2017. It's Friday the 3rd, February 2017. And I want to talk about Donald Trump. And the reason why I want to talk about Donald Trump is because society doesn't realize that they're making it so easy for this man. And what I mean by that is, if you always tell somebody they're a fuck up, then what happens when they do something good? If you always tell them they're a fuck up, what's going to happen when they finally do something good? All right? When they do something good, you're going to be surprised. When they do something good, it's going to be like a breakthrough in fucking history. It's going to be like, oh my God, I can't believe this person did something good. A lot of people don't like Donald Trump for whatever reason. And because they don't like Donald Trump for whatever reason, it's like, fuck the messenger. I'm not even trying to listen to the message. And because of that, a lot of individuals are just like, they're writing him off. It's like, I'm not even trying to listen to what the man got to say. It's just nothing that this man could do to get me to listen to him. Well, yesterday, Donald Trump proposed a couple of I don't know, repeal. He's going to repeal a couple of things, right? He's going to repeal a couple of things. Now, I have no problem with gay people. I have no problem with gay people. And one thing I always say about someone when they get their rights, you got to understand, you went to somebody to get rights. That means they can take them away. If you went in front of a committee for the right to have sex on the street, that obviously means that you couldn't have done it in the first place. That's what that means. I need y'all to follow me. So if you went before a committee to have the right to have sex on the street, then you also got to go to that committee if, in fact, you do something wrong. All right? Follow what I'm saying. Now, once again, let me say that I have no problem with gay people. Donald Trump is repealing the right to refuse gays to business owners. And because he is repealing that pretty much means some of the rights that gay people had, they're about to lose them. Not all of them, but some of them. So what does that mean? That means that if you don't like gay people and they come into your establishment, you got a right to tell them you don't want to serve them. Now, let's be clear about something. You can hate Donald Trump, but there are people that just think that this country is going in a toilet because gay people now got a right to walk around and express themselves, etc., etc. Now, Donald Trump is saying, nah, I don't care nothing about you. Your feminist movement, not feminist, I'm sorry. Your LGBT community, I don't care nothing about y'all. Y'all can't buy me. So we're going to turn this thing back. That's what you're getting with Donald Trump. Do we say it's fool's gold that all the rights that gays have gotten? Do we say it's fool's gold? No, we don't say it's fool's gold. No, we don't say that. But like I said, if you had to go to someone for the right to be the way you are, in some cases, maybe what you're trying to be doesn't fit in with society. Now, let's be clear about something. We're talking about gays, because I don't want anybody to say, well, black people had to go before to get civil rights. Well, let's be clear about something. Black people, we got our rights because other nations, when the United States sat down at the table to discuss talks with the nation, United Nations, the United Nations said, you treat your blacks like shit. So there's absolutely no way you can come sit at this table and talk about problems in the world as a whole. Please follow me. Now, that is a lot different from the right to be gay or same-sex marriage, when that, in fact, is illegal in a lot of countries, and in some countries, you can get killed for it. I don't think there's any country out there that government condones, treating their citizens like trash. And then when that happens, we swing into action as a country anyway. That's why we went to Kuwait. But telling business owners, you guys got a right to serve who you want. We tell them that anyway, because don't you hear? I mean, even I have a company, and I have a right to refuse service. You're telling me I'm not going to have a right to, you're going to take away my right to not serve gays. If I don't want to serve child molesters, if I don't want to serve somebody simply because they coming into my establishment with sunglasses on it or barefooted or no t-shirt, then that is that person's right. They're in business to make money. And so, that bears for some questioning. Now, when we talk about some of the other things that Donald Trump is talking about repealing, he's talking about repealing people with mental illnesses to own a firearm. All right. Black people, with all that I heard Donald Trump talking about, I didn't hear nothing about sending us back to Africa. I didn't hear anything about it. I just want to throw that out there. So let me just break it down like this. When you constantly talk about how bad someone is, as I stated when I first started this radio show, when you talk about how bad someone is all the time, when you kick dirt on somebody all the time, when you put someone in a bad light all the time, you're giving them all the recourse in the world to prove you wrong. Like everything, when it first is said and when it's first thought about, it's backlash. Can you imagine What was said when the individual said that I want to invent an automobile? Us as a society, we drive around in our cars now, but can you imagine what that person said that was a horse salesperson? I'm a horse salesman. And someone came along and said, I'm going to invent a car. That person was like, a car? What are you talking about, a car? Horses are fine. Now we're better off with cars than not. Can you imagine back in the day when we were talking about computers? Computers was such a fucked up idea. And then what happened is computers made their way into the home. Now they're on our phones and now on our watches and now built in our TVs. They're built in our refrigerators. But when computers first came out, society looked at computers like it's the worst invention in the world. Same goes for the television. When the television first came out, it was called an idiot box. Now we call them smart TVs. I am looking at Donald Trump as a president, not looking at Donald Trump as a person. And because of that, it allows me to have criticism without prejudice. I can sit down there and separate Donald Trump from the people that he is electing into certain positions, individuals that are speaking as if they are speaking for Donald Trump. I'm smart enough to not look at these things and make a decision based on the fact that I just hate Donald Trump. Please follow me. Because of that, I look at the job that Donald Trump is doing, and there's every time a president gets into office, they have a race to make change in their first 100 days. And of course, the first 100 days, they attack things that are easier. They're not going to attack things that got to go into office and get a vote. Well, some of the things got to go into vote, but there's some laws got to be rewritten. And the first 100 days, it's not going to be done in the first 100 days. But what I'm noticing about this new president that we have, I'm noticing that he is going after things that I'm not going to say stupid, but I see that he is going after some things that is tilting the pendulum on morality. Some things. I see that he is going after some things that has question. So let's be clear about something when I say this. When someone gets convicted of a crime, there are 9 jurors. And when there are 9 jurors, it is odd. It is an odd number for a reason. When someone is convicted, you must persuade all 9 jurors. Now, of course, to persuade America, you're talking about millions, if not billions. I don't know. But some of the things that they have in place, some of the things that we have going on as a nation needs to be attacked and should have been attacked a long time ago. As a black man, excuse me. As a black man, I look at a lot of social programs, and I say that these programs enable people. I look at a lot of social programs and I say, well, how do you give someone this and on the same lights, someone else have to work for the very things that you are given? I don't give a fuck about the circumstances. People, I was homeless before for 7 months. And being homeless for 7 months in up in the Northeast, you're catching some winter. You're catching some winter. I remember one time I woke up in the morning. It was in November. I woke up in the morning and it felt like I had icicles in the center of my chest. It felt like I had icicles. It felt like I was breathing in solid fucking ice. That was the life that I was living. That was the circumstances that I had. I had just got out the military and thought that, honestly, I thought when I got out the military, I thought that people was going to run and give me a job. I got out the military banking on the fact that I was a soldier. I got out the military banking on the fact that, I've done my country well. Someone is going to give me a job and it's going to be a good job ASAP. I was banking on that. Well, I wrote a check on that logic and it bounced. I wrote a check on that theory, it bounced. I wrote a check on that assumption, it bounced. Everything that I thought that I was entitled to as a person that served this country, I forgot one factor. I was a black man. Please follow me. So I look at a lot of social programs and I just don't believe the hype when it comes to the need structure. The need structure needs to be changed. So when we talk about enabling, we talk about a whole bunch of stuff that's really another show. But I'm here to tell you this morning, you guys are making it real easy for Donald Trump. And what I mean by that is simply, the guy simply can say, excuse me, after he fart, and y'all will be amazed because y'all didn't think he would say it. Yep. If Donald Trump was to say, I am sorry for bumping into an old lady, y'all would be surprised. That is lowering the bar on any accomplishments that man can make. Or should I say that is lowering the satisfactory rating on any of Donald Trump's accomplishments. Like, share, and subscribe, y'all, on YouTube. I appreciate y'all checking me out. League Nation Radio.